Hi, I want to ask a question for you guys. See if you can give me an answer. I know what my answer would be. I want to curious what yours would be. I asked this on another video, on my other account that went the way of the dodo, so I'm going to ask it again. Political violence is a bad thing. It's something that we should not encourage. And as we saw last Saturday, just before the No Kings protest, two Minnesota legislators and their spouses were brutally attacked in their homes, shot multiple times by a man posing as a police officer with a Trump agenda, far right evangelical, and one couple died from their wounds. Less than a few hours afterwards, Senator Mike Lee of Utah put out a Twitter post, or X post, whatever the hell y'all want to call it, basically with a security picture of the suspect, and with the caption, "This is what happens to Marxists." And then he did another video saying, "There's terror on Wall Street." So he was just basically saying they got what they deserve. He was basically reveling in the deaths of two people and the wounding of two other people because they were on opposed sides, opposite side of the aisle. Republicans have been silent. In Minnesota, not one Minnesota Republican has said anything about this heinous crime. Minnesota investigations are showing that this might be part of a bigger conspiracy, because he did have a list of 70 people, and he was found stalking the next name on his list, and that's how they arrested him. That information, it's important to know he was going to continue. So it brought me to the idea that's a horrible act of political violence, but it's not being denounced by everyone. Some people are kind of cool with it, which is scary, but you can tell. Your silence is compliance, y'all. Which brings me to a huge thinking about political violence. Timothy McVeigh, who believed that the Branch Davidian cult was executed by the FBI in Waco. You look it up, the whole tank thing, the burning of the compound, blew up the Oklahoma Federal Building with a fertilizer bomb to avenge the Branch Davidian cult going after the FBI that was in the office. He blew the whole, he collapsed the building, which also collapsed on a daycare center they had down in the basement for workers, and killed children. You know the picture of the fireman carrying out the body of that child. Timothy McVeigh was hunted down and convicted and spending life in prison for his crime, including his accomplice. I want to ask you guys, if Timothy McVeigh did the same thing today with MAGA as his political stance, which is the same thing he was, don't confuse the two. What he did, MAGA would have been MAGA then, it would be MAGA now. Would people support what he did? Would many Americans decide, who are just so far down the Trump cult, that what he did was the right thing and they deserved it? Even the children who died, because they were, targets, collateral damage. That's a scary thought, to think that people would support and even call for the release of Timothy McVeigh. That's a sad thing to think about. But considering these political times, it's a good possibility they would.